So I said that socialism is not necessarily about big government and more government intervention in the economy. And I want to present to you two things that would refute that. I don't think it can be totally refuted because obviously as we look in history we see a lot of big government intervention in the name of socialism. But let's step way back towards the beginnings. You may be familiar with the phrase from Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, the withering away of the state. So they looked toward a world in which the state no longer became necessary, and that's because they regarded the state as primarily having the function of maintaining class rule. As I said a minute ago, the wealthy have a lot more influence over government decisions. That's class rule. They saw a day in the future that they were working towards when there would actually be less government. Government would not be so necessary. Didn't quite turn out that way, but that was part of the impetus. Now, most of us are familiar with the socialist societies, really communist, based on the model of the Soviet Union. I'm not going to get too deeply into this, but say it wasn't intended to be that way. And socialists have had to do a lot of hard thinking about how it came to pass that you had a party dictatorship from a group that aspired towards socialism. And that's something I think about and have thought about and want to talk more about. And the other familiar one is democratic socialists in various European countries have moved in the direction of more government intervention in the economy, but they were also looking toward the day when it could make the leap from a capitalist economy that was regulated for the benefit of the people and where there were a lot of social welfare programs, making the leap from that into a truly socialist society. They just could never figure out a way to make that leap and didn't have a clear picture of what was on the other side. So, yeah, there's a lot of reason to think of socialism as representing a move towards big government, but that wasn't the ultimate goal for any of the socialists in the early stages of socialism. And also, I want to present a second reason to doubt the statement about big government and socialism, and that's there has always been a contingent, a thread in the socialist current, that doesn't sound right, a wave in the socialist currents of anarchist socialism, also called libertarian socialism. And as you may be aware, anarchism is about abolishing government, and libertarianism is about minimal government, or really minimal coercion by the government, reducing it to the size that it's not coercing so much, and promoting individual freedom that way. If there are socialists who want no government or very minimal government, then they're obviously not aiming at a big government, just like Karl Marx, when he says withering away the state, is not aiming at a big, ponderous, oppressive state. So there is a big part of socialism that looked toward a future where the role of the state would be minimized and personal freedom would be maximized.